Hey, we are live on a Wednesday. Happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody. My name is Lane.
And I am Scott. And no, you're not looking at two twins here by any means. Of course, Lane's much younger and much more handsome than I am, but we're wearing our Sackin-Stone team green t-shirts in honor of St. Patrick's Day.
Absolutely. And maybe there's a reason why we're also wearing green, right? That might be the theme of our show.
It is. We always have a theme for the show, and today's theme is that it's that time of year when folks are thinking about getting green and getting clean. And we've got some tips and tricks to help you do that.
Yeah, those are two words that go really well together, green and clean. So this is perfect. Green and clean episode. Come up with the first banner. Let's see what we have there. We're going to be talking about cleaning out your closet and your home in general.
Exactly. So again, talking about the theme briefly, green and clean, staying green, staying conscious of the environment, not just throwing things out when you think about doing your spring cleaning. It's springtime, it's time to clean, but we also think it's a time that you can get green. So we're going to give you some tips today with regards to how you can do just that. And as we get started with cleaning out your closet and home, what a perfect time of year. It's sunny out, it's warm, you've got time to kind of go through things. We suggest that you start going through your closet in your house and looking critically at those items that you don't use anymore. One rule of thumb we hear from some of our folks that are really into their wardrobes is if I haven't worn it in a year or more or a season or more, it's probably time to consider cleaning it out and getting rid of it. So the first stop is always those closets. Go through and look at those things that you're not using anymore. Then along with your home, it's those things that maybe are duplicates. Sometimes we bought an extra coffee maker or two, or you've got things that are becoming wallpaper, those things you're looking at, not using anymore. Lane, your thoughts?
Yeah, absolutely. I think when you're thinking about, I don't know, the closet, for example, I heard one little trick too, is like, if you just aren't sure, should I let it go or should I keep it? That you would just put it in a box, store the box. And if over the next 3 months you needed it and you needed to pull out of the box, then you're keeping it. If you didn't, that box is going to be donated or that box is going to be going away somewhere. So yes, there are donation services around town too that you can look into utilizing. Make sure if it's something that you're unsure of if they'll take, call ahead of time, because I'd hate for you to lug it, pack it, and then head over there too. And just make sure you call ahead and make sure they're able to take it.
Absolutely. And a couple tips on that is, well, first of all, stay tuned to the very end of the event because we're going to talk to you about our own Sackin-Stone team 8th annual Green and Clean and More Shred event that we hold here in Huntington Beach, California. We'll give you more information on that. But again, with regards to this first topic of getting that closet and home cleaned out, there are so many worthwhile organizations around town that will take your items. Now, sometimes people say, will someone come pick up from my home? You need to double check. I know there's a couple of veterans organizations that in the past have done that. We find that from a donation site perspective, Salvation Army tends to be one of the most lenient. They'll take almost everything. You want to just double check though before you lug anything very large to one of these sites. I was donating some things over the weekend to Goodwill and found out that they did not want to take my microwave oven, but they were happy to take a hand mixer. So just kind of beware that you want to double check anything that might be a questionable item. Most of them will be happy to take gently used clothing, household items, toys, etc.
Yeah, and a lot of these donation services will give you a receipt so that way you can use for your taxes. But then if you're looking at maybe, hey, I don't want to donate, maybe this has a lot of value and I do want to sell, there's a lot of sites at your disposal that you can use too. You can utilize Craigslist, OfferUp, Let Go. If you have collectibles, a new up and coming one's called Mercari. And those are also sites that you can utilize if you want to sell as opposed to donate. But there are a ton of options to make sure you're doing your cleaning. We always recommend that you do this house and closet cleaning twice a year, and no better time to think spring, green and clean in the spring. So this is a great time to start utilizing one of the two times you're going to be cleaning out your house this year.
Absolutely. And as we wrap up that topic, Lane, you hit on a great point. Double check with your tax advisor, because a lot of times the tax benefits you'll get from writing off the donation, the value of the donations you make, can outweigh the hassles of selling something. Again, to Lane's point, if you've got a collectible that's worth hundreds of dollars, that's another story. But some of these other items, I found myself personally, I love getting the receipt from the donation centers. Oftentimes they'll let me fill that out myself. I take it with me to my tax appointment and strategize with my accountant there. So that's just a final tip with regards to that.
That's exactly right.
All right, should we move on to topic number 2 with the green and clean theme?
Cleaning out your pantry. Okay, so we went from the closet to the food closet, if you will, the pantry. But yeah, this is a good time to take a look at things that have expired or close to expiring, because there are food pantries out there that could utilize a lot of food. Obviously, they're not going to take your expired food, but you might have something that somebody could utilize right away that could be close to expiring, but that's something that they'll be very grateful for having. And this is a good opportunity to make sure that your pantry is completely clean, because how many of us come home from the grocery store and just throw things in the pantry and it's not completely organized? I know my OCD friends out there are like, that's not me, but there's a lot of people out there that just kind of come home from the grocery store and throw everything into the pantry, and it kind of looks like a hot mess. But it's also a good opportunity to maybe organize it, take a look at the dates, figure out what you can and use and can't use, and figure out what you can also donate, because there's a lot of people out there that could really use some food.
And Lane, you're absolutely right on. And again, personal experience this weekend, I was looking for some salad dressing and wanted to grab one. I thought, oh, I've got a new unused salad dressing in there. I sure did. The expiration date on it was 2019. Ouch. So I think to Lane's point, it's twofold. You want to get in there, clean out that pantry. I also find pasta items, grains, sometimes you get little weevils in them over time. Check out all of those food items that have either gone bad or expired. Put that into one category. And you want to just have a trash can or a bag ready. Get rid of all of those. Then if you've got duplicates and you feel generous and you want to just organize a little bit more, if you're not the OCD person that keeps it constantly organized at all times, and you're thinking, you know what, it's time to go ahead and give back to the community a little bit. I'll look through some of my items, even if they're not expired. If you've got extra beans or peanut butter or macaroni and cheese, some of the things that we hear from local food pantries, the top items that they want, canned meats, canned soups and stews, etc. Consider maybe donating those to the food pantries. Once again, do keep in mind, most food pantries will not take items that have passed their expiration date. Even if we feel that they're decent, we just don't want to do that. And we find some folks this time of year are feeling generous, and they'll clean out that pantry, and maybe they won't have all that much to donate, but they'll say, hey, on my next trip to Costco or to the market, I'll pick up a dozen extra cans of these items that we know are highly prized and coveted by the food pantry. So you can give back to those local folks in need that are a bit hungry. And there are so many different local food pantries, oftentimes run by community organizations, churches. They're very, very easy to find. And again, when we talk about our Green and Clean event at the end of the episode, we'll tell you our favorite choice of where we like our folks to bring their donations.
That sounds good to me. Yeah, so that's great. So we're talking about cleaning out the closet, cleaning out the home, cleaning out your pantry. What's coming up next? Document and file shredding. Hey, this is the time, right? Tax day. Sometimes you have a lot of important papers that you need to get shredded. So this is about the time that you would be thinking about doing so, because, you know, if you run a business or, you know, you might have to keep receipts and files for a certain amount of years, but then you might have boxes full of shred that needs to happen because those years have since long passed. And this would be a good opportunity to clean those out. Or if you have just basic receipts around the house a year, or old checkbooks or something that need to get shred. Yeah, there are a couple companies around town that can provide you with a shredding service. We're thinking Staples has one, UPS has one. If you do a little bit of research, you can find something close by to you, but those are two big companies that do provide shredding service. And again, we keep alluding to it, but if you wait until the end of the video, we're going to talk to you about an event that we throw every year that will also have a shredding opportunity for you as well.
Right on, Lane. A couple quick tips too with regards to your document and file shredding. Think about stacks of magazines that have been laying around the house for a while, old newspapers. It doesn't just have to be things that you've been working on or using for your taxes or your small business. I find myself, I'm always going to get to those magazines that I subscribe to. And I realize, similar to Lane's analogy with the clothes, if I'm 2 to 3 months past when that last magazine came to the house, it's very unlikely that I'm going to read it, and a lot of the content is not useful anymore. So take a look around your house, anything like that, old newspapers, magazines, etc. Throw them into the mix here. And then second tip on that is most shredding places are okay now with paper clips, the kind of the long horizontal clips that hold some of the files together. But you always want to double check first to see, make a call to where you're going to take them and double check and see what their rules are with regards to those clips and binders, etc.
Yeah. Now, if you're keeping like a big magazine because there's one particular article or one particular page that you really like from it, I would recommend that maybe you would scan that page and upload it to, I don't know, Google Drive or a cloud service or something like that. That way you can have like an online storage file so you can access it easily at any time from your phone, from your computer, from anywhere you need. And you can always revisit it. And then you can also get rid of that magazine and create a little bit of more room for you in the house or that cabinet or whatever you're storing those type of things. So that would be my tip too, is maybe scan it and store it online.
Brilliant idea, Lane. And again, as we wrap up this category, kind of old school, new school, as everyone knows, I'm the old school guy. I've got two three-ring binders at home. One of them is for recipes. The other one's for fitness around the house, activities, etc. And I just keep those kind of categorized with little tabs in them. And I tear out the items that I think are going to be of interest to me, whether it's a recipe or a fitness tip or a day hike or something. Got my 3-hole punch. I punch them, put them in the binder, and then they're good to go. And it kind of makes me feel good that it's there if I need it, but I haven't kept the entire magazine.
That's a good tip. Do we have anything else?
Of course we do.
Of course we do. What do we have? E-waste recycling.
So e-waste, by definition, from what we've learned, if we're correct on this, is pretty much anything that has a plug. So this can be something as small as an old clock radio to a giant big screen. And there's some requirements with regards to e-waste recycling because there's some sensitive components and so forth inside that are not friendly to the general waste basket or trash bin. So you're not going to want to just throw those into your trash can. You're going to want to recycle those in a proper and responsible manner. We've checked before we went to live on the show today. If you Google e-waste recycling or electronic waste recycling near me, we found there are many, many sites scattered throughout Orange County. And I'm sure if you're listening from afar in your neighborhood, there'll be some too. You want to double check, call those folks again, see if there's a cost involved. But again, this time of year when it is green and clean, we want to stay green. We want to be responsible. Even if there's a small cost involved, it's better than just throwing it and burying it in the trash can and kind of feeling guilty like it's going to the landfill and it really shouldn't.
Yeah, and the operative word under the e-waste is waste. So at that point, if it is waste, it's probably no longer working. Because if you do have an electronic device that is working, a lot of the donation services will take that as well, and they won't just throw it away or scrap it for the gold that's in there or whatever they're looking to do with it. And if you're taking a computer or a laptop or something and the hard drive is still inside the computer, usually a lot of these services, they have, with an additional fee, an option for you to shred that hard drive altogether. So that way, if there's anything sensitive on there, they cannot no longer be accessed and they're shred completely. So there are additional services for a fee that you can pay these e-waste companies if you need it completely shredded as far as the hard drive is concerned. But if it is working, maybe consider donating it. If it's not, then it probably is a waste and that you were using the e-waste option there.
Absolutely. And something just came to mind today, and we didn't have a chance for our director, Stipe, to put this up as a banner, is what I'm going to call P-waste, and that's paint. I'm going through a little remodel in one of the areas of my home, and I came across a garden cupboard, and I had paint cans in there from about 7 years ago, about 20 cans all told. And I was like, oh my goodness, I want to get rid of those as well. So of course, doing some research, it's very easy to find folks that will take a paint. Even your local paint store generally will accept used paint. And again, that's one of those sensitive items you don't want to just be throwing in the trash can. So just kind of an aha extra tip in the spirit of greening and cleaning this year is if you've got old paint cans around the house and you're sure that was 2 or 3 home paint remodel ideas ago, go through and see what's practical, what's jammed shut, what you can't use, get rid of it.
That's a great tip. That's great. It's very timely for me too, because I just came across about 6 paint cans that I don't know what they go to. So it might be time to do paint waste. I don't, P waste sounds kind of weird, but paint waste maybe.
I know. As soon as I said it, as soon as I said to myself, P waste, that's going to sound weird. Lane's going to make a comment about that. So I think paint waste. I like it. I like paint waste. Paint waste. I love it.
All right.
Well, today's show hopefully has given you some good tips and tricks with regards to spring and clean and green and a little bit light, but a little bit informational. And as we wrap up today's show, let's talk about our own Green and Clean Shred Event 2021 with our 8th annual Sackin-Stone team sponsored event. Lane, tell us a little bit more about it.
I can't believe it's the 8th annual, but yeah, like it starts with what we're talking about, cleaning out your home and cleaning out your closet. We will have a nonprofit there that will take gently used and in good condition household items. We talked about cleaning out the pantry. We will have our food pantry, our food bank there collecting food. And then we also have a shred. We talked about paper shred. Yes, we will have a shred truck there doing document shredding, and we will have an e-waste truck there. And it's all outdoors. It's all socially distanced. All of the workers and volunteers that are going to be there, they're all going to be wearing masks and gloves. And it's going to be a very safe drive-through environment, one-stop shop for everything. So for when you're getting ready to do your green cleaning and your spring cleaning around the house, and you want to wait for our event, we can obviously message you the details. Just let us know, hey, I want to come, I'm in, and we'll give you those details and make sure that you're there. And it'll be happening, what is it, about the 2nd week of April. So
Yeah. It's coming up soon. And again, we don't want to be too enigmatic about this, but it's an invitation-only event for our past clients and our spheres of influence. It's become extremely popular because it's easy in, easy out. We've got, I think, up to 15, 20 volunteers, 2 lines of traffic. It's so organized, folks kind of look forward to this a year ahead of time. And so we want to keep it a very streamlined and smooth, stress-free experience for all. So that's why it's not out there on social media. It's not posted anywhere. But again, of course, for anyone listening today that's interested in the event, as Lane said, you know how to get a hold of us. And we're happy to give you a personal invitation to the event. And you can make it one stop, one shop for all the things that we've talked about in today's segment.
And free. So like we pay for and organize everything after 8 years. We've streamlined, as Scott said, the process. I challenge you to find one that's more organized, and I think you'll come up short and fail, because there's probably not going to be any more organized event than our Green and Clean, where you're going to be able to do your shredding, your e-waste, your donations to household goods, and your food donations all in one stop.
Lane, you're sounding a bit OCD, but I think that is true. We love organization, doing things different and better at the Sackin-Stone team, whether it's helping clients buy and sell homes or putting on events for our clients as well.
Yeah, well, we hope that you found value in watching us today. We love doing this every Wednesday. We're going to be back again next Wednesday. Maybe just with Scott. I'm going to be out of town for a little bit, but maybe I'll be coming live from somewhere interesting. But either way, we're always going to be doing our show every week. If you found value, please like, comment, share. That's the best way of saying thank you to us in a way. So we appreciate the support and love, and you'll be tuning in next week, right? To our SnL.
Absolutely. We'll be here, and who knows, maybe Lane will be coming to us remotely from a surprise location in the background. I'm thinking like Wheel of Fortune, how they always have the places around the world that's in the background. Who knows if Lane will be here. But again, I'll be here for sure with more good information we hope to share. If you like what you saw today, please share it with your friends. Make sure you've subscribed, and we hope that we continue to create value for you. Thanks so much for watching.
Bye.